Hey everyone, Jumpy here. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to the guys over at the Phoenix Podcast for collaborating with us on this episode. Make sure to check them out and subscribe. Also, shout out to a friend of the show, Nick. I forgot to include you in the shout outs at the end of the show, so I didn't want to make you feel forgotten. Alright, with that said, back to the show.
Feet of Rope normally comes. A new podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. This is a joint venture. Yeah, that's right.
I'm tired of this shit.
Suck it in.
I need someone to email to freaking complain about this.
I told you, be on your toes, Fatness Everdeen. Be on your toes.
I could not be called that this week. Would that is that not possible?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Phoenix. And this is...
Yo, Phoenix, I'm really happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But the Play versus Everything podcast is in the house. Hey, everyone, it's Jumpy. I'm joined by Jay.
What's going on, guys?
Did you get into that laugh? That was like one of those, I poke you in the belly, ha-ha laughs. And I just wanted to think the Kool-Aid man was going to bump through the wall for a second and be like, oh yeah. And then I look at him and say, oh, no, bitch, you better fix this wall before my mom comes home, okay? She don't play. But as always,
oh no, bitch!
From our side of the fence, we have Chris, the thesaurus that I call Chris. That's your slogan. That's your slogan.
That's my slogan, the thesaurus.
It's kind of fitting too.
You're Damien Sandow, okay?
Oh, okay. I like that.
Sandow.
Wait, he got fired recently?
Well, no,
he sure did.
He's just a thesaurus of information, a vast wealth of knowledge. And okay, say hi to the people.
Hi, people. I'm a thesaurus.
And ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Flatbush, the bald Fatness Everdeen, Drew.
Jesus Christ. Motherfuckers gonna be coming around Brooklyn, listeners looking for me and shit, thinking it's me, every bald guy with a beard.
So that's everyone.
Yeah, they're like, hey, they're just gonna be screaming Fatness Everdeen.
Hey, yo, Fatness, I heard you on the show. What's up, Fatness?
Shout outs to all the people who have laughed and sent emails in about the Fatness Everdeen because they said they have Fatness Everdeens at their jobs too.
But hey, don't get that out of hand now because I'm not really that fitting of a Fatness Everdeen.
Can we just bring up something real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show? Drew posted a photo on Facebook today. And follow me on Twitter. I took a screenshot. I'm going to post it soon. Follow me on Twitter.
Wow, you're a piece of shit. This motherfucker's about to meme me and shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm running to his Instagram right now.
You're gonna be immortal, bro.
I think you saw it. It's the picture from the bike charity I did last weekend.
Ah, yes, that.
Doesn't
picture.
he look like a sad little kid with his little Eric Cartman helmet on?
Wow.
Doesn't he look sad?
No, it was quite funny today that you pointed it out because when I took it and I sent it to my mom, she was like, Jesus, can you smile? It's like, you look mad angry out there. It's just how my face came out at the moment because I was having fun.
I'm sorry, but upon further review, it's the balloon that kind of sets the picture apart from everything else. The one load balloon.
It's like a little kid at a carnival or some shit who didn't win the game and his mother's forcing him to be a good sport.
You couldn't get the little ring over this little bowl. Here's a consolation balloon. Sorry.
You guys laugh it up. Laugh at me as I was doing good work and helping the people of Brooklyn.
Even
though I'm not
you were doing
Brooklyn.
that. We don't deserve it.
Next time you show up, they're just gonna give you the fucking Mockingjay whistle, bro.
You just hold up two fingers.
Yeah, no shit.
The next time I see you, Drew, I'm gonna fucking hold up two fingers,
Oh my god!
Yeah, just volunteers tribute every day.
Yeah,
no
and with a bucket of fried
is.
chicken in my hand and hold up two fingers. That's what I'm gonna do.
Jesus Christ!
Instead of a whistle, you can just do 4 fat man huffs. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! Now everyone's gonna think I'm like some obese guy sitting in my mom's basement playing video games all day.
Well, speaking of video games, I like where you went with that. So let's go down that road.
Transition.
There's a lot too,
Boom.
and that was a great transition. There's a lot of video games.
It was.
Are there? Are you saying we played video games this week? these past couple of weeks?
Man,
there's
this
been a
week
lot.
was I think it was jam packed. It was
Bloody packed.
There's some
before we
good
get
news.
into the meat and potatoes.
There's some good news and some bad news that's happened this week, gents. And let's go down this good list here, because this is kind of like rapid fire shots that we're going to do, because the bulk of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, Captain America Civil War had came out, and I don't know if we're all in agreement on this show. I haven't picked the brains haven't picked me. I have a legendary 40 talking points about this movie.
Lord have mercy.
Write that down, let it marinate for a moment, flip it on your George Foreman.
Write that down.
Yep, you can use it. So the closure of Lionhead Studios, who made Fable, the classic black and white on the PC. It's kind of sad. What do we think? See,
Actually, this is my first time hearing that. I didn't know they closed. That's crazy.
Well,
I was thinking about other bad news from this week. I didn't know that happened also. But yeah, that's fucking whack. I wasn't into Fable, but I just know that was like
This was a long time coming, though.
Yeah, it was a raged about game, but wasn't Fable supposed to be coming out for Xbox One? So I guess that's scrapped or something.
Yeah, they canceled it like
a
month and a half ago.
It was supposed to. Some people were excited too. I enjoyed the last Fable I played because it brought me and my ex together, and there was something to be said for that.
Well, being she's your ex, I don't know if that's really all that great of a memory.
Well, no, she's a great friend, and she's very pleasing to me. And Fable brought that back into my life.
Is it different? I didn't know which ex you were talking about.
No, yeah, it's a different ex. Yeah, there's a whole laundry list, a whole dossier.
I only know
women
I only remember the evil ones because I know which ones I have.
That's 97% of them. So
during the zombie apocalypse, I'm going to sacrifice them first. So
okay, well, thank you for having my back during a time that is never going to happen. But yeah.
See, that's the type of thinking you'll never be prepared for it.
Yeah, that's sort of like a Cap Bucky. That's sort of like something that Cap would do for Bucky, I believe. I feel
curb it,
like what
curb it.
Oh yeah,
we're not going to go into it, but just a quick reference. Just a reference.
Yeah, it was just a little reference. Curb.
So how do we feel about the studio being closed?
As far as Lionhead Studios goes, right? This is my 2 cents. Fable is probably one of my favorite games of all time. When it came out on Xbox Original, I played that shit consistently through the entire lifespan of the Xbox. I always expected more from them. I didn't get more from them. I don't feel as though 2 and 3 and whatever else they did lived up to what Fable 1 was.
Agreed.
So I'm at the end of the day, I'm happy to see it die out because it wasn't going to be what it was before. So they went out. Peter Molyneux, he made a lot of promises that he couldn't stand by, and it ended the way it did. But I know Black and White, what was it called? I never played it, but I know that was huge for them. That was big for Lionhead Studios. And what do you know, since you brought this up, actually, do you know what happened to Big Blue Box? Was that what it was called? Because I remember when I played that game, it was so long ago, but I remember it was Lionhead Studios, and then another logo came up, which like Big Blue Box or something like that.
I want to say that was their remote site studio. I know they were in conjunction. Don't quote me on that. I'll Google's it later, but I think it was kind of like their remote campus, so to speak.
Yeah, because I'd love to know what happened to them. Like, I haven't seen anything with that logo ever again. Since Fable 2 or something like that.
Right.
Can I ask a quick question real quick on the subject of did they give any reason of why they did close? Because that was going to be like a big game for Xbox One.
What was it though?
Yeah, was it
though?
I didn't play it, but I know that had like a following.
Yeah. I think it had a following, but not the kind of following that's going to move units, if you know what I mean. Like,
it had a cult following of people who enjoyed the first game and really wanted it to be better and would buy it hoping for the best.
But here's the thing, though. I think Fable can still live on. I think Microsoft can either partner with a third-party developer or give it to Rare. Rare's not doing anything besides Sea of Thieves, and we don't know anything else about that game. I think that franchise could live on, given that they give it and put it in the hands of a developer that can put it to great use. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm
surprised they didn't, though. I'm surprised because Microsoft has already this gen teamed up with certain studios to ensure they get some. Well, they tried with Sunset Overdrive, but that's another story. But they tried with certain games to bring those exclusives, and I'm surprised they didn't with Fable and this studio.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. A generation, a chapter in gaming is closed. I hate seeing people lose their jobs, but hopefully everything has gone well for them.
Those guys are covered, man.
On the subject, you saying losing jobs. What's the game you played? The Disney shit. They closed also. I read that. You just talked about the other day, Phoenix.
Disney Infinity?
Yeah, the Infinity. Oh. I saw that they closed also.
They did?
Him saying they're losing jobs. And I think when I was reading the article, 300 jobs right there, gone.
Wow.
I was surprised, too. I didn't think something Disney kid-based
could,
like that.
Lose out to anything
would fail.
Or even be closed. That's... Wow.
Was that studio in the U.S. or was it something outside the U.S.?
I'm not too sure.
I don't know about that
I think they were based in Cali, truthfully. Okay. So I can't give you...
But it's Disney. You don't think that anything related to Disney is going to fail? Like, that's crazy to me.
What do you think, Jump?
Irrelevant to me. Just irrelevant. I don't care.
Well, this is sad to me because I love Disney Infinity. Like, I literally have every Marvel figure that they've ever had on sale. Literally. Like, yes, the whole Guardian set, the whole Avengers set, Spider-Man, obviously Iron Man, because he's like the best thing to happen to Marvel ever.
Foreshadowing.
Absolutely. The Hulkbuster.
Table it.
Yeah, absolutely. But, since we're going down the road of closures and stoppages, ooh, is that even a word? I don't know.
Yeah, stoppage is a word.
Okay,
fuck that. It is now.
You fucking right. You know what? You,
even
sir,
if it wasn't.
Achievement unlocked. 30 points.
Unlocked.
Right there.
30 G's.
Yeah. For you PlayStation people, what is it? A bronze or a silver
A trophy,
or something?
yeah.
That sort of trophy.
It's so weird when I hear them talk about it too. I see everyone talking about
Like, I got a trophy, Mom.
Like it's not a real thing.
I plat the game. The game, bro.
It's just too close to one of those like participation trophies to me. Like, I like the achievement better. You know what I mean?
Gold star for trying.
Thanks, you tried.
For you.
E for effort. You showed up.
Well,
good on you for being alive.
Microsoft stopped production on the Xbox 360, so there is a huge chapter right there.
Hold on, I'm pouring one out. 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second. Wait for it. All right.
Pour one out for the homie.
It's done.
Okay.
No, that's a big. I even forgot that. I'm happy you did bring that up.
Let's go around the table here. I'm going to start off with Jump. What do you think, in your opinion, is the franchise title of the generation with the 360? And you
Halo.
can only choose one.
Halo.
Game.
Easily.
Which Halo?
2.
That Halo 2 wasn't on the 360.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
I'm
No.
3?
3 was on there.
Yes.
Oh my god, am I really that old? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You was playing Halo 2 on the big black. Well, previous to the Xbox One.
No,
the
could
even
you?
bigger black
It was
Xbox.
it was backwards compatible, wasn't it?
Compatible, but
Okay, so that's why I remember it. Then playing it on 360, you had me twisted there for a second.
But no, you went hard on Halo 3 on that.
Yeah, pretty much the Halo franchise as a whole.
Absolutely.
all right. Well, since you said absolutely, sir, how about yourself?
Call of Duty 4.
Ooh, solid choice.
Which is great because it's beautiful timing though that they stop production on that and we get the revamp Call of Duty 4.
You know what?
With,
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Pin that, because I got a smooth rant to go on about them girls over there.
Oh, we'll table that.
Yeah,
And I don't want to jinx it either because
I was going to call you Badman. Wow, look at that.
Wow.
Drew?
He took mine actually. I was gonna either say Halo or Call of Duty 4. I just think Call of Duty 4 kind of it just brought the aspect of multiplayer gaming to totally new heights, and I experienced that on 360. built friendships that I have to this day from that game alone.
Chris?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, Jump took the overall answer. So I'll just say Bubble Bobble because why not? Like, not people don't talk about Bubble Bobble, but that game broke barriers. It
It's funny that Tracy actually does, though. It's funny.
It created a lot of friendships that I don't have to this day anymore.
No. You know what you guys haven't mentioned yet on 360? Uno?
I was going to say that as a joke. And you stole that from me.
But seriously, though, like, Uno really, it kind of opened up people to... I know people who didn't
like
game at all, and then
Tinder.
they got Uno.
No, that game.
And then they were like, "Oh my god, you can meet girls on Xbox."
It tested friendships. I'll tell you right now.
I'm like,
go ahead.
And some people got sex off of it. That's a fact.
I didn't know. People told me that they were meeting girls on Xbox, and I was like, "What do you mean? What are you doing? I think you're using the system wrong." And they were like, "No." They're like, "If this is the wrong way, I don't want to be right because I just met such and such girl while playing Uno." And I'm like, "What? There's
Xbox Tinder."
I'm like, there's games to be played, dude.
Wait, is that when the live camera was still around?
That's when the live camera was
That's why that was happening.
Yeah, that's when it debuted. But I want to say that this game. Let me take you back to a year.
Okay, we're time traveling. We're in an X-Men movie now.
Sit down and buckle your seats and listen to a story.
Did you say Bucky? No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, there's this little game that came out in 2007 that spawned a slew of games, and if rumors are to be believed, we're getting the complete collection this holiday. The original BioShock, to me, was the game of the generation because, like, playing that game and getting caught up in Rapture. And I remember meeting Ken Levine. I think it's Ken Levine. Sorry if I butchered it. But I met him right when BioShock 2 launched. And they were not when it launched, but maybe like when they started announcing Infinite. I'll never forget this. I walked up to him and I was like, "Oh my God, can I get a picture?" And he was cool, down to earth. And I remember looking him dead in his eyes. And mind you, I was new to podcasting and talking with developers. And I said, "Thank you for coming back to the franchise because the last game, BioShock 2, I know you guys had nothing to do with, but it sucked." And he kind of had this look on me like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, it sucked. And I know you didn't have anything to do with it, but I thank you for coming back." And he kind of looked at me like, "Okay, that was brutally honest, but thanks. I don't know how else to take it." But have everyone here played BioShock?
Yes.
Yeah,
and I'm in total agreements with you with 2. And I loved Infinite, and the first one was great. It's like,
do you remember going into the basement of it was some basement, and the lights just cut out on you, and then the spotlight hit you, and then all these enemies just bum rush you?
Yeah, that's fantastic because I like stuff like that.
Was that the original? Was that the first game of the year that came out? Because I know Platinum Hits had come out, but not Game of the Year. Was that one of the first?
I think it might have been.
I actually believe.
Yeah, because that shit was real, man.
It definitely was.
That game
that's
set
a very
the
good
stand.
choice, and it's not talked about a lot, like as it should be.
Well, I'm mad. I immediately thought multiplayer because you're right. When we're talking single player, BioShock takes it hands down. The atmosphere, just being in Rapture, going down the bathysphere? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yep.
For the very first time, just the light, it's just everything about it. Everything was perfect. Turn off the lights, put on a nice pair of headphones, just get lost in it for hours. It was great. And then obviously the twist, the twist in the very first one is just.
Would you kindly?
Yeah. To this day, I still drop that reference.
I can never. Bro, that's like a password to something that I have, and I can't even remember what it is.
I hope it's not something like.
It's his bank
I hope
account.
it's not something your girlfriend would have access to, and you don't want her to see.
Nah. Yo, I'm trying to think of what it is, but that's like a password.
Speaking of things that we're trying to think of, and I don't want to.
It is my bank account.
Wow. Who do you bank with, and what's your username? By all means, please let me know.
He's gonna have mad debits tomorrow and wonder why.
Holy shit!
Antichrist with Y's instead of I's.
Account balance negative $300.
You said 300. I'm going for 30,000. Let's go for broke.
Some changes must
I
be
mean, I don't want to highball him.
See, you're looking to try and trip the fraud detection. I'm just trying to skim right under the radar.
Yeah, I just want to skim at the top. Just take a little.
Okay,
I don't want to get greedy like a Wall Street herb.
Pay my phone bill.
Yeah.
Pay my
what
phone
this
bill.
means is I can
and
go
even
on
buy
like
your graphics card.
I could go on a spending spree right now. Just use this as evidence that it wasn't me.
Oh wow. Just say, yeah, give me all my money back. All these
As we get investigated.
These assholes.
Well,
I didn't go to the strip club. Oh my God!
I know,
All this
right?
money? That wasn't me.
that was not me.
The strip club takes card?
Yeah, I know.
You never seen the tip drill video?
So there's a game that came out in beta form, and
Oh God, we could have saved this for last.
no, because I want to get this out the way. It's
I don't
known
even.
as
We don't even
Gears
got to
of
dwell
War
on it
4.
too long.
That's why I said I don't want to spend too much time on it. Gears of War 4 launched a beta. While we
Oh,
were
I thought
on
you was doing the other
hiatus.
game. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we'll get to her in a second. Gears of War 4 launched a beta, and let's go around the table again. So, Chris, what did you play?
Remember, I don't think I didn't play it. Yeah. I just, because I remember I tried to, and then I was just like, you know what? I don't want to.
I don't
That
want
you got over it pretty quickly.
Okay, Drew.
Real quick, from the last show, we didn't speak like crazy about it, but
the one with the audio
after
issues?
playing it a little bit more, it grew on me. I'm still not like completely sold. I even say like day one, like it's not Gears as I know it still, but it's doable. I don't see it being. Yeah, I don't see it adding to the legacy of the game. It depends on the story, though. The story could save it, but the multiplayer wasn't everything that I would want it to be. But it's not as bad as I felt previously. Playing a little more, it grew on me. So I'll give it that much.
I'm gonna go completely against the grain and say I was never a big Gears of War fan. Not because it's a bad game, just I'm
show's
terrible
over.
at it. I'm terrible at it. I fell asleep during the story of Gears of War 2. I literally fell asleep. Like, shout out to my boy Winston Wolf, who was on the mic as I snored through whatever level we were playing. So I downloaded the beta and never touched it.
Oh, well, how about you, JBL? That's your new name going forward, JBL.
Not bad. I second that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tough crowd.
Yeah, ditto. So I do have a little background, though, to what Drew was saying. I believe it was Drew. So what I had found out was that this game was supposed to be kind of like huge changes for the company. It was supposed to be new planets, new weapons, new this, new that. It was supposed to be all revamped. It was supposed to feel like Gears of War, but look new, like nothing you had seen before. And they scrapped that. They decided to go with what they knew and backtracked, and this is the game that we're getting. A lot of people are really upset about it. I don't really have an opinion towards it either way, but just figured I'd put that out there.
Okay, well, I love Gears. Okay. I was vastly disappointed. I think because everyone's kept saying like, oh, they have time to change things and do this, that, and the fourth. What is this? May? Okay, June. So you got to figure they're working on an E3 build for people to play at E3. That's probably going to go down to the wire for them to get pushed out. They literally have the month of May, June, July, August, and September. That's 5 months. They can't do a complete overhaul in 5 months because the game comes out in October 11th to be precise, and the game's going to go gold by the end of September if they're going to have reviews pushed out so that they can be ready to go and on sites when the game launches. So for me, it's hard for me to say, yeah, I'd give a stamp of approval on it. I think a June or maybe a July beta should come out. I would say July-ish. But as it stands now, it kind of like what Drew said, grew on me to the point where I was like, I could see me playing this for about an hour a month and not be bored. That's really about it as far as that is concerned. I don't want to spend too much long talking about Overwatch because I think it's the most boring thing I've ever touched in my life besides Batman versus Superman.
Can I just real quick? It's just imbalanced. The game is just. We played one of the last matches we played the other evening. They was defending and they brought out 3 tanks, and I mean all the characters are supposed to counter things of that nature, but it's just you should be able to only Overwatch.
Overwatch.
It's Overwatch. We don't even need to touch on it long. Was you was in that game too? Wasn't you, Jump?
Oh, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. I was butthurt.
But basically, I'm not buying that game. If you're looking for something big to play with your friends, I would say go with Battleborn. Battleborn has grown on as if you like Borderlands, you'll like Battleborn. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a little annoying with the playing the story mode because you have to play online. So sometimes you get randoms and they're idiots and they'll leave the match. So that can mess you up. But if you have like 4 or 5 friends that are interested in a type of game, playing together, shooting, funny story, Borderlands type humor, then go with Battleborn. But Overwatch, easy pass for me.
Controversial comment. Save your money, buy Doom.
Oh, God. Definitely don't do that.
Well,
I'll second that.
Okay, Chris?
I'll second that.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Well, just really quick, I just want to get this out because... And I need uninterrupted airtime, Drew, so you shut your mouth.
I'm not talking.
Okay. The Queen has dropped the greatest album of the decade. Lemonade has ascended upon us, and I'm not going to get into full detail here. There is a podcast coming for all the beehives that listen to this show. And yes, 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 I just, thank you. That's what I have to say about that at the moment. Also, I no longer like Jay-Z. I've deleted all of his music off of my iTunes as a result. So
that's extreme.
Yeah, well, fuck him. Moving on.
You should really be thanking him. If it weren't for him, you wouldn't have Lemonade. Just saying.
Good way to look at it.
You know what, JBL?
Does he get the hat?
Well, no, he does have the hat and the horn rims, and I know you're not from Texas, so anyway. Call of Duty. We talked about this earlier. 4. Since you brought it up before, what do you think about this new Call of Duty 4 remastered being bundled with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare?
Well, I mean, we actually went in on this quite a bit in our last podcast, but kind of what we got out of it was, and something we agreed on, because we don't always agree on shit, but...
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
But we agreed on the fact that this game being bundled with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Okay, Infinite Warfare. Get it right, man.
Listen, it's a dumb name. Being bundled with that is a selling point. I mean, they're covering their asses. They know people are going to buy Call of Duty 4, and if it's bundled with this game's going to sell in order to get Call of Duty 4. I don't want changes to that game. I hope it's just graphical changes, but I'm expecting to be disappointed.
I'm going to expand on that just a bit. So to kind of what Jay was saying, 1, it's a move to hedge risk. You take more liberties by going into space, hopefully trying some new mechanics out in multiplayer and single player. If people don't like that, they still fall back on the fact that the only way to get Call of Duty 4 is through this bundle package. So it's a smart business move. From a consumer perspective, absolutely terrible, because there are tons of people who don't want that game, but they're specifically just buying that bundle just to play the remastered, which is kind of an insane just notion. $80 for a remastered game. Second, the fact that they're throwing it in with only 10 multiplayer maps And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's also running on an updated engine. I'm genuinely interested as to what the what changes are going to come. Because Jay and I kind of brought up this point where people are always, when they look at remastered games, they think it's important to have a lot of fidelity to their memories, or to their nostalgia. Mm-hmm. But the issue comes where if you start messing with the engine, if you start messing with lighting, if you start messing with all these small little intangible things, it starts to kind of move away from what you may remember and maybe your particular play style if they change enough. So it's just a matter of understanding what's people's limits. You know, like what are you willing to accept as a change before you start complaining and saying this isn't the Call of Duty 4 I wanted. I know I kind of took it a little too far, but you know, it was something that kind of came up, you know, when we were discussing it.
I mean, hopefully it could be half as good as the Master Chief Collection is all I'm saying.
Shut your whore mouth. Why?
That was a fucking shot. Jesus Christ.
I still cry every night.
I haven't touched that game. I don't even know the last time I touched that game, man. Oh, it's so broken. For the campaigns, it's worth it, though. But the multiplayer, yeah, it's shit. Well, yeah. I hope it. I just hope we don't jinx it. I hope it does come out close to the original as much as possible, and they pick good out of that 10 is good maps. I'm not following that closely because first I don't even give a shit about the new Call of Duty, as is also like I'm just buying it. I don't like we're gonna all buy this game and we're gonna go straight to Call of Duty 4.
I'll tell you this game. And I'll tell you why. No, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to spend my money on this because this is that fuck shit that I constantly talk about. Activision bundled this in because of the fact, let this sink in and marinate for a moment because this is going to be a lot. Activision did not want to launch this separately because Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered would have outsold Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That's a given fact. Now, as much as anybody would like to debate me on that, that is why that game is not being sold separate.
Wait, who's debating you on that?
I don't think anyone would. If anyone tried to,
not anybody here.
Yeah, if anyone tried to do that, they would just have to. We have to fight them. Let's just fight because you're a fucking idiot.
When you're talking about the most disliked, video game trailer in the history of YouTube, I don't think anyone's really arguing with you on that.
I'll even take you a step further.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
I won't spend money on this game simply because Call of Duty over the years, let's just say the new console, so to speak, they have not pushed the envelope further. When Respawn hit with Titanfall, literally Activision looked at their developers and said, copy, paste, go. And that's what
Advanced
they did.
Warfare.
I'm sick. I think this generation, I'm more picky about what I spend my money on. Again, if I'm going to buy a console or if I'm going to invest my money in a product, which is you selling me on why I should have your product, I'm not going to accept mediocre shit anymore. I know these people work long hours away from your family, but I'm sorry. I will not invest my money in something that looks like hot shit on a dated engine. Just my personal opinion. How long as gamers can we sit here and complain about Call of Duty? Oh, Call of Duty is the same shit
It's not even
year.
Like it's 1 year.
But it's not even that, though.
Multiple.
We always say
just
the
to
same
continue
shit
to
every
accept
year.
mediocre shit.
Right, and we spend money on it.
And let's be real.
I really don't understand how the game has still been selling so well when the majority of people, a lot of people got into gaming. Call of Duty's one of those gateway games.
Takes one friend.
Yeah, it is.
Takes one friend. It just takes one friend.
Call of Duty 4, I'm telling you, I know so many people. Like I said, that's why that was my 360 game, because that built so many friendships, got so many hood motherfuckers, geek people, all walks of life. Because you can't me from the hood. They be like, "Yo, son, we shooting people up on this shit. Yo, this shit is live." And then you just have your real gamers, your regular geeks. It brought people from all walks of life, man. And even you talk to any girlfriend, every girlfriend knows Call of Duty.
Nostalgia's a fickle bitch, though, man. Nostalgia make you do stupid shit. Like right now, we'll be thinking of Call of Duty 4. Man, that game was so fucking great. It was so amazing. You know what? Let me pay for this. And then you got the game in your hands. You play it for 2 seconds, and you're like, damn, that's why I don't play this shit no more.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
that's definitely a good point because I've gone back to like that and Modern Warfare. Well, not Modern Warfare 2. I don't think that was the perfect game.
No, stop.
No,
Stop.
we
I'm gonna
went
stop.
back.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
We'll
I'm
have
gonna
that.
stop.
We'll have that
No,
debate
no.
another
3
show.
months ago, bro.
We'll have
We
that
went
debate
back.
another
Fuck
show.
that.
We'll have that debate another show.
Put the
but-
brakes on that argument.
Yeah,
Stop.
we'll have that
Go
debate
back.
another show.
Go
but
back.
Call of Duty 4.
Go back to all the forums, man. There were so many complaints about that game not being like.
That's because motherfuckers didn't like getting the nukes on them. But no, look, we'll table
That's
it.
because
We'll table
motherfuckers
it.
didn't like that javelin glitch and that fucking commando shit,
But
man.
I still,
All right.
you just had to work your way around it. But this quickly to the point was that I'm kind of forgetting what the hell I was going to say to that. Shit.
Because now you
when-
remembering
no,
how much shit it actually was.
No, I remember now. But when you go back to play Call of Duty 4, you're just gonna see, like you don't have a bunch of kill streaks. Just the way that, and it's much slower compared to some of the first-person shooters you play now. So you are right when you did say that, Jay, about like going back to it now. It's like for the like wanting it. The want is not gonna really be equal with the need, or like the actual when you actually fulfill this want. So when you actually get it now, you're playing it. Yeah, you might be like, oh yeah, let me go play Destiny or whatever shooter you're into at the moment, Rainbow Six. Whatever.
Like
So-
linking two of our topics together, we were talking about Fable earlier, and Lionhead. Fable released their anniversary edition, which was like a remastered Fable 1. I played that shit, and I was like, damn, like, I want to keep going, but I've already done this shit. You know what I mean? I don't know
it's not the same feeling. But
Right.
I don't think that would happen as much with Call of Duty because that feeling is definitely there. Like, but it may not be as lasting, but yes. The only reason this Call of Duty is going to kill this holiday season is because of Call of Duty 4. No one is going to probably be interested in the actual new game.
All right, controversial point. Just to kind of stir the pot. At what point do we also take responsibility in the decisions that they make? Because one of the big things is this whole nostalgia play, right? Oh, we want games. We want another Call of Duty 4. We want another Modern Warfare 2. Why can't it be like the old times? They give us that. Oh man, but there's no sprint, but there's no wall running, there's no it's the audience is always flipping the switch. And at what point do we also need to take responsibility in being inconsistent in the message we deliver to developers?
I think it's kind of hard to answer that.
It's half and half though. But I mean, the point I'm trying to bring up is, I would say, look at it from the perspective of a developer, right? You see the market, you understand what's out. You have to understand what's out there and try and create a product that tries to hit as many targets as possible. And when you have an audience, and no, you can't satisfy everyone, but you have an audience that seems, and I say seems because it's not always necessarily true, seems to be split in terms of what they want. And then you deliver one thing, well, it's not the other thing. All right, you deliver the other thing, well, it's not that. It's
impossible. It is impossible.
It's impossible, but I think at a certain time or a certain point, the developer becomes apprehensive to really take a leap. And that's what separates like a great developer from a good developer, right? A good developer will give you the same, kind of recycled crap, even though it may be good, maybe kind of polished. I personally like Black Ops 3. But it's not revolutionary. I wouldn't say that Treyarch is a great developer because of it. Oh shit, I'm trying to think of the most revolutionary like first person shooter in a long time. I can't really think of one, but when say when Bungie was putting out Halo, right? It was above and beyond. It changed the game. It brought absolute freedom to consoles. You don't see that very much, and I think a lot of developers are apprehensive to make that jump because of just the immediate negative backlash. They put out a trailer, nah, that's bullshit. Why the fuck are you in space? What the fuck is you're immediately hit with this just barrage of negativity before they even play the game. And I think from a PR, go ahead.
That is because you can't please gamers. It's the most tried and true thing about games these days, and not even just these days, for about as long as I can remember. Developers go through that kind of bullshit time and time again. Like you said, when they put out a trailer and everybody's unhappy and it's getting to be the most disliked video on YouTube and all of this kind of shit, is that developers are really breaking their backs to try and make everybody happy and to do the best that they can to come out with, well, at least I think they try to make revolutionary shit. I'm pretty sure a good majority of them do. Obviously, they don't all hit the mark at the same time because that's impossible, but they give it their best shot. Everybody gives it a go, but you can't please gamers. If it's one thing missing from it, these people hate it. If it's another thing missing from it, these people hate it. If they change something, people don't like it. And if they don't change something, people don't. It's a never ending cycle. So no matter what these guys do to try to appease the masses, I guess there's always going to be complaints. It really doesn't matter what they do. They should just forget about that, take the good with the bad, and just keep on keeping on. Because at this point,
go ahead.
There's really, really no saving our gamer generation. Everybody's going to complain eventually. So
here's where I agree and somewhat disagree. And I think it's a case by case. Well, not really. Look at, okay, and I'm saying this as an Xbox fan. Naughty Dog, Uncharted. That game has progressed. Granted, it's still the same style, puzzle action adventure game, but the story is what keeps me going. I haven't really touched the multiplayer, but that story is what keeps me coming back to that franchise. If and when Sony announces The Last of Us 2, they're working on this. I mean, I think something slipped about it last year about them working on it.
I need that.
Going back into that world, you're going to get a story. And that's what I think, even when you make a game that's multiplayer, like Call of Duty or Halo or Gears, certain people still play for that story narrative. And for me, I don't play Call of Duty anymore unless, well, I'm not going to say unless, but for a situation, if I were to, that story has to be a 10 out of 10 for me. If it's not a 10 out of 10, I don't want to play Call of Duty. It's getting to the point where now Halo has let me down. I don't give a damn what they do in Halo 6. I just truly don't. Gears of War, I don't know what's going to happen. Will I end up getting it because I want to see what happens in the story? Of course. If this story is a letdown, I'm done with Gears. So I'm more interested in what story can you tell me and how can you incorporate the gameplay into that storytelling? And I don't want to jump too far out of the gate with this, but Uncharted 4, so far what I've been playing, that is the best game that I have touched this generation so far, period.
I've seen a lot on that game, and I've played the previous installments of Uncharted, and here's the fact of the matter. You have companies that make games, and they will make games every year. And then you have companies that make art. And they do everything that they can to put out art. A game that's going to carry on its own, that doesn't have to rely on gimmicky, recycled, same mechanics and all that. That game, Uncharted, sits up there for me. Absolutely. It's one of those games. The Last of Us is another one. And I want to go say Dark Souls is as well. It's just so rich in lore and the story and how it carries itself as a game that makes you keep going. And you're just like, wow.
It's hard to put that one in the category, though. It's hard to put Dark Souls, though. So, those type of games are very niche.
But what he's saying is, I see what he's saying. Like, when you look at that game just pops out at you. You know what I mean? Like, just...
It's just that with that type of game, because that's not a game for the more casual gamer. Like, the Dark Souls... Like, I love Bloodborne. Last year, Bloodborne was one of the top 3 games for me.
Yep.
And it's just being how difficult those games are. But that's what I liked in that video game.
See, and what pushes you forward? You know what I mean? What makes you keep going?
Bro,
the game has to be amazing for you to say, fuck, I'm dying every 5 minutes and I'm still going.
My girl knew every time I beat a boss, bro. Hold on. Bloodborne.
I think
I celebrated that shit.
I think we're kind of mixing apples and oranges. Single player and multiplayer have very distinct objectives. I'll preface it with this. You're absolutely right when it comes to development cycles, and organizations that put out a product on a yearly basis obviously don't have the time to, create expansive worlds and be able to deliver a rich product, especially if halfway through the development cycle they're already thinking about, what's already, down the road. With that said, single player games have the luxury of allowing someone to become, and this isn't true for all single player games, but for the most part, incredibly powerful relative to their opponents. When you're playing, a bunch of AIs, you can become more and more and more powerful, and it allows you to really build a story around that.
Sure, and it's scripted, so it makes the experience that much greater.
Exactly,
because they plan on things to happen. All right, so going with that.
But let me finish.
Yep,
There's a flip side on the multiplayer side.
Yep.
And Bungie put it best back when they were developing the Halo games, in that when people play multiplayer, the objective is, one, you have to make sure it's balanced so everyone feels like they have a fair shot, and it's an even playing field, and where skill essentially is what helps kind of narrate who does better, who does worse. But then two, and I forget the exact quote that Bungie had used, but I think it was very telling, in that you have 30 seconds of gameplay, and being able to recreate those same 30 seconds allows, and it was actually in context to single player, but it applied more to their multiplayer. You create those 30-second pockets of excitement, you can create a great multiplayer game. If you can create that interaction between two people, everything's fair, everything's balanced, and it allows skill to kind of overtake the kind of the I guess the interaction. That's what builds excitement. That's what builds, your desire to want to continue playing the game. So I think they're two very different avenues, and I think it's unfair to start saying, oh, well, it doesn't have a really good story, so I don't want to buy the game. I mean, I understand that's a personal decision, and that's fine, but I think when it comes to just making an opinion on a game as a whole, I think you have to take the whole thing as one giant package.
Absolutely, but at the same time, touching on what you were saying earlier about multiplayer and how it's like companies want to play it safe, and they're putting out the same product with some minor changes, like Black Ops 3, even though it's not bad, it's a good game, but they haven't done anything revolutionary. And that's the thing with multiplayer. The last games that you could really say, wow, like multiplayer games that were like revolutionary for their time, were Halo 2 and 3 and Call of Duty 4. They were the pioneers. They were the ones that put these games on the map, these types of games, and I would call those games art. You know what I mean? Like they are up there for forever. Like they're always going to be up there, and they're going to be talked about years and years from now. But it's hard in the multiplayer platform to become one of those. You try doing something different, and most of the time it's going to fail. And we haven't seen anything very different in a long time. I mean, aside from Rainbow Six Siege, which has some differences, it's not falling in this category.
Well, everything has its ebbs and flows, though. So at a certain point, every genre is going to plateau, and first-person shooters plateaued for the longest time. I think VR and hardware and the software's ability to utilize hardware is what's going to allow us to have that next jump. But you're already seeing other genres take the limelight. Absolutely. League and other, what are those types of games called? It's MOBAs. Thank you.
Yep.
They found something new that it's attracting other people. And I'm not saying first-person shooters need to go out and copy that, but I think at a certain point, first-person shooters are going to become stagnant, which they are. They're going to kind of fizzle out, disappear, and then you'll have the next push, right? The next, whether it's VR,
the next genre.
There's going to be something, whether it's technological or whether it's. I think it's technological, just because I think we've gotten to the point where when Halo came out and a lot of these other games, that sense of absolute freedom, being able to jump, turn around, melee someone, shoot, like that wasn't really all that common. A lot of it's boots to the ground. You really didn't play a lot of verticality. So that was revolutionary, and now games have all really incorporated that. Now, when you start talking gameplay, there's not really much more you can add. Now, I think it's going to start being more of a focus on the user experience, and I think VR does that. I think as we start talking more along the lines of, I don't know if you guys have seen that they're trying to incorporate Oculus with this device that lets you run, and you hold this like gun, essentially like a light gun, like the old what was that old Nintendo thing? The
power glove.
No, kind of like the power glove.
Oh, the laser pistol?
Yeah, there was like a pistol. There was also a rifle. I forget what it's called. It's like a super scope.
Oh, it was like orange and gray.
Oh yeah, the super scope. Yeah, the super scope. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So incorporate something like the super scope with this little treadmill thing that you run, and you have an Oculus on your head with the Oculus. I think it's Oculus Audio, whatever the audio component of it is. Essentially, creating a true immersion of you being in the game. And I think we've plateaued from what gimmicks you can add, and I think it's just, again, it's going to move on the experience side. I'll leave it at that because I know I went on a bit of a rant.
Well, because I know I'm looking at the time. Let's talk about experience. Let's get more experience with Captain America: Civil War.
Transition.
Yes, finally. Whew.
Meat and potatoes has
Ladies
arrived.
and gentlemen.
Lord have mercy.
Now,
What you've all
I'm
been
going
waiting
to go smooth last on this. So this is how, let's just do this. Let's let Jay go first.
You want to do every other? We could do every other man, and
I'm going to go last. Y'all set it up. I just want Jay to go first because I heard some rumblings in the intranets, and me and RDJ were talking about what we have planned later this year with Spider-Man Homecoming. We're going to be filming together, and we're going to be jumping on to the Infinity Wars. The script is being done, and we talked to the Russos, and there's a lot to be had. So,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not shallow or pedantic. So,
Fucking shit.
Jay, the floor is yours. Iron Man 4 Civil War. Go for it.
All right. So where do I start? Wow, there's a lot. Team Cap all day. You're right. You're wrong. I'm right. Moving on. Next.
Shots fired. Oh man, I'm
writing down that you said that because I'm going to circle back to you.
More like a shield was thrown.
Ha!
Jesus Christ.
Ha
So is that it? That's all you have to say?
Ha!
That's it?
General thoughts on the movie? I mean,
General thoughts on the movie? I mean, I give the movie a 7. Team
what?
Cap all day. Yeah, I'm right. You're wrong. Moving on.
Okay.
Just a 7.
Drew, I'll go to you next. Okay.
I enjoyed the movie a lot. With the anticipation of the movie and everything this year, I didn't read the event, but I made it my due. And then a couple of you guys talked to me about it a little bit prior, and he's like, you didn't destroy the ending for me. You're like, no, just read it and go from there. You don't really need the reference, huh?
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, you could have. I know how you are. You definitely probably wanted to ruin it for me, but I did read it, so it did build my anticipation for the film. So I did walk in, and then we all blacked out media wise, like the whole last month. So we didn't even know what was going on, the rumblings on the internet about the movie. So we walked into it blank, and I left the movie theater very happy. What I do like about it is that they stay close. They stay close to the comic book, but they don't.
Cap should have died. Sorry.
They basically take little references from the comic book and just flipped it into the script. And I do like what the script is going. It builds for a lot of story. And it definitely set the tone for Black Panther. Oh, Black Panther 2 did come out today, if you didn't pick it up yet. That's what I was doing before the show. I'm reading that comic right now also. So I love that part. And I know this is probably going to be one of, I don't want to jump the gun, one of Phoenix points, but I definitely love the love that Black Panther's getting. Just all the memes and everyone talking about it. Geeks and non-geeks is definitely bringing a lot of focus to black superheroes.
Black Panther, a.k.a. Mr. Steal Your Girl. He stole the show.
Yeah, you saying that. And that's another point that I liked about the movie, that there were actually multiple story arcs in the movie, but no one outshined the other. And it still all came back together to the Accords and signing these papers or not.
Zack Snyder, you fuck. I hope you're listening. Okay.
Yeah,
Stupid, short.
He just put it out. He just put it out there, frankly. But that basically was a shot to Batman versus Superman, because they mixed about 4 or 5 story arcs, DC story arcs, and none of them made sense. And the thing I hated the most, as we said in the previous show, I hated the Doomsday portion of it. Even the way he was killed.
Let's stick to a movie.
No, we're gonna say we'll stick to.
Let's stick to a movie.
We'll stick to the filet mignon. We're not gonna
stick
go
to
the fucking ramen.
Whatever the hell that bullshit was. Okay.
Yeah, but I do like how the intro of Spider-Man is definitely a brand new era for him. It was great. That was like a big selling point too. Just going to the theater, the amount of Spider-Man T-shirts and things I saw, and then people who may have not been familiar or may not have been interested in Black Panther. He definitely this like slipped through the movie, but his story was built, and the way with the ending, it helped build his solo, which I wish was even closer. I'm so upset. I got fucking 2 years to wait for this. And the twist, the conflict now between Cap and Iron Man is just so fire. it's like I felt for Iron Man in that shit. that motherfucker stab you in your back, dog. This is your man. And I mean, maybe kind of personally hit me because I had some men back in the day stab me in the back. I mean, over less. Thankfully, it wasn't my parents dying, but freaking over a girl and shit. But I knew the feel. I knew where he felt at that moment. So yeah, I loved it. I would probably say 9.5 out of 10. I can't really find many gripes. Other than no one did die. It would have been cool if someone did die. Who died?
Young Pegasus Carter.
Okay, well, that doesn't really count.
No, wasn't her natural causes? That didn't count.
Yeah, she died because she was like 109.
I think she died. Well, she died because she was from Flatbush. Let's be
one last quick
around. Bring it back around.
Well, yeah, one last quick one of the references to the comic book that I did like was with Ant-Man going supersized
to Giant Man.
Giant Man.
Becoming Giant Man, yes.
That reference to the comic book was dope. I'm happy he didn't get the same demise as it did to the comic. Even though he wasn't even in the movie as much. Yeah, that motherfucker got toasted, bro. Yo, when I was reading that
Good God.
And then he just had a hole in his chest. It was like Death Becomes Her when the girl got the shotgun through her. You just look through
with
this
the Duchess Meryl Streep.
Are you and Tracy fucking related? Jesus Christ, she watches that movie all the time.
That is like a staple.
But let me. I don't want to go up too much, but just real quick. There's another movie she did, Shipwrecked. I think. Do you like that one also? Is that what it's called with Kurt Russell?
We'll save it for another podcast.
All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, but yeah, that was one of my favorite references to the comic. That's that airport scene. I know Chris is going to touch upon it, but Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm done. Jumpman, you can have it. I'm sorry. It's because I'm just going to keep going. Fuck, man.
It's hard not to, man. It's not hard not to. So I'll keep it to some simple bullet points. So let's see where to start. Definitely enjoyed it. Obviously, a very entertaining movie. Pacing. DC, take notes. Cheat sheet. Bring it with you to the exam. You're allowed to use it. You use both sides if you want. Black Panther. I mean, I'm just reading what I put on Nike Talk. Shout out to Nike Talk. So I was really happy how they handled Spider-Man and his quote unquote origin. I really hope they don't in Spider-Man Homecoming. They don't really touch on it looks like, but Uncle Ben's gone. He's already gone, and I think Tony's trying to slide up in Auntie over there, but in
Auntie's DMs.
Yep.
I love that for someone who is kind of coerced into combat. Because Tony just shows up unexpected, pretty much is like, "Hey kid, I know who you are, and work for me." Yeah. Spidey had this perfect sense of just kind of innocence and humor, and it was especially in my theater. The moment he says "Holy shit," it's just kind of like it was like, okay, I like this kid. Like he's got just personality and charm, and it just his continuous talking throughout the entire airport scene. I fucking loved it. It was great. Kind of felt the same about the plot twist at the end. It adds another layer of to the story. Personally, I think maybe I'll start getting to a little bit of my kind of dislikes, and they're very nitpicky, nothing too crazy. Even though there is this rift in the Avengers, this movie really doesn't seem to have much coming out of it. No one died. And not necessarily someone has to die for something for it to be a significant story arc, but no one really died. Captain America still is like, "Hey man, you're still my friend. Here's my phone. Call me." Okay.
There was not enough conflict.
There wasn't enough conflict. I mean, it's Civil War. Like I'm thinking, okay, man, shit's gonna go down, and I get the target audience may not necessarily be expecting something as violent and as kind of raw as the comic. The airport scene was fun. It's cool, and it's like, oh, it's awesome seeing all these awesome superheroes in this giant, massive battle. But the repercussions of this entire movie really kind of boiled down to this one guy had his family killed, and he kind of just made everyone really butthurt with each other. Because ultimately, we know they're gonna essentially get back together at some point, whether it's in Infinity War Part 1 or 2. I just feel like there just wasn't enough conflict coming out. There really wasn't enough at the end, right? It left me kind of wanting just a little more.
Honestly, I was holding out hope that at the end or anywhere in the movie, Deadpool was just going to show up, put a bullet in Captain America's head and say, like, so is it over? Like, did I do it? Did I do good?
I tabled just no.
I would have
tabled
paid
that gripe.
extra for that.
I tabled that gripe, Jump Man. I'll save it for if we have enough time after Phoenix 40 points.
Cool.
But yes, carry
on. Let's see. Yeah, airport scene was dope. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I think it really the main thing I really got out of it, and we were kind of talking about this before the show. It's interesting hearing both sides of Team Cap and Team Iron Man. These two characters are essentially mirror images of each other to some extent. Whether their motivations are very different, but we're talking about two people really driven by their own personal guilt. And it's funny listening to both sides try and argue that the other one's a bigger shithead than the other, when in reality they're both pretty big shitheads. They are, though. They are. Yes, no. Iron Man is driven to sign the Accords based on his guilt for what happened in Sokovia and all the other locations.
In a minute. Go ahead.
And then Cap is guilty for, feels guilty for, well, not guilty, but he's motivated by wanting to save Bucky because, well, technically he's really the only person he has left from where he's originally, the time period he's originally from. He just saw his what's that old lady? What's her name again? The only fatality aside from Crossbones. What's her name again? Old lady, 100 years old.
Peggy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So loses Peggy, right? And this is really his only connection left to what's back from his childhood, what's back from when he was back during his time. So you have these motivations that are really really self-driven, and I think it's these two characters together that really help put Zemo in the right position to kind of split them apart.
I know what you're saying. I mean, it's basically like Iron Man is Trump and Phoenix likes Trump. So, Trump 2016, Phoenix says.
What is happening here?
Yo.
I know he's like gripping his seat chair right now.
I know.
He was like, he's probably just taking notes. That 40 probably just turned into 45.
Most likely. It's going to hit 50 probably when I my fucking shit.
I'll leave it at this: Team Cap, Team Iron Man. Your heroes.
Y'all are both Team Cap.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm Team Black Panther. I'm kind of the guy who's in here. No, I'm serious. I'm in the middle. I really don't give a shit about your own individual desires. I'm just here to get the shit done.
Okay, Switzerland, I see you.
Hey, man. I'm not getting bombed. Yeah, so I say I'll leave it at this. It's pretty much you're both your heroes. They're absolutely wrong. They're motivated by self-interest to some extent. They together have split up the Avengers, and it's them together who have to bring them back together. I walk away.
Interesting perspective, Chris.
Well, I thought the movie was dog shit, to be honest. No.
Oh my god.
I saw the damn thing 3 times in a 5-day span, so I give the movie a 10 out of 10 because for me, personally, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was one of the most well-done Marvel movies ever. Just a couple of points for me. Specifically, all of the little things that they ripped out of the comic to make it fit into the movie and not actually change the plot or subplot of it were really neat to see. The speech that Sharon gave at her aunt's funeral was pretty much directly ripped out of the comic because it's the speech that Cap gave to Spider-Man when he was trying to get him to join his side. That much I did like. I very much enjoyed the throwback gear to when I guess it's the Silver Age or whatever, when Vision was built and he liked to wear that kind of, I guess you call it Cotton Dockers casual menswear around Avengers Mansion.
Model.
Yeah, he used to really dress like Carlton Banks, and I enjoyed that they put that into the movie. It was really kind of neat to see. That was when Vision was in, I guess you call it, I guess it was the second incarnation of the Avengers, when Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man and all those other losers were on the team. But I love Scarlet Witch. She also is another key point for me in the movie because she's a really good support player. She's for support, like if you were playing a game and you needed a support character for your team, Scarlet Witch is the type of character you need.
And on that woman, she's older than what they're trying to make her out to be, and it's not even funny. It's not
It's
even funny.
it's so weird. Like, they're trying to, like, Cap is like, she's a kid. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She's 28.
But I digress on that point. But the fight, obviously, the airport fight, I love it. I loved it. It was like, I didn't think that they were going to do that well. I was kind of nervous. There's a lot of characters, and they kind of botched that in Age of Ultron. There was too much going on, and it was a bit dark. But everybody got their shit in. Everybody got, like, 2 or 3 moments. Some people got 3 or 4 big moments. I mean, maybe not so much War Machine. He kind of got the short end of the stick on that. But, everybody got...
of the blast.
Oh, yeah. I think that's another thing that was ripped out of the comic, because seeing as how Bill Foster got the shit stick at the end, and he was basically what stopped the entire battle, the last battle in the comic from going on, when the clone of Thor put that hole in his chest, and everybody was like, holy shit, and it all just came to a close. And I think that's might have been why they let Rhodey take that shot. I mean, I don't know, but it seemed very familiar to the way Bill Foster got it and stopped the whole thing, because Tony stopped chasing Cap and Bucky through in the Quinjet and basically went to go save Rhodey, and Falcon did a nosedive to try to do the same, and that was like the end of the battle. That was it.
It was pointless because he didn't die. Where's the drama? Yeah. Where is the climax?
And I honestly, like, the bottom of my stomach fell out, because I honestly thought Rhodey died, and it was hard to watch a little bit. It seemed like, and I'm thinking, like, they're not gonna, because the movie, it was a very bro movie. There was so many bromances and bro downs going on in that movie. It was
we're still cool, right? Yeah.
Like,
cool.
it was such a bro movie, and not in a bad way. I loved it. The whole thing with Cap finally kissing Sharon, and Bucky and Sam in the car, just kind of like giving him that get some kind of look. It was a feel good
movie, and I wasn't
really
expecting
cheeky
to go to a feel good movie. And
I mean, I did, because it's Disney Marvel. I didn't expect a grown man dressed like a bat to be doing Krav Maga for 3 hours to some sort of cosmic villain that he has no business fighting. I knew exactly what I was going in to see, and I got exactly what I wanted. Here's the last point I want to make about this. This movie it's becoming a thing where not the average viewer or comic reader or somebody who knows about this kind of stuff is starting to weigh in and chime in on certain things. And I don't really like to get in arguments like that, but here's one thing people need to stop doing. Stop trying to give activated Bucky so much country. He is really not that strong. Somebody said that activated Bucky might be able to give Hulk the business. Shut your mouth.
No,
don't even say
merciless.
weird. Don't say weird shit like that, because it really shows how much you actually know about things like that. First of all, Cap himself beat Bucky in both movies. Second of all, T'Challa in casual menswear, in like some little like moccasins and a fitted long sleeve shirt, dusted him without wearing the blasted vibranium suit.
Yep.
So there's no way he's beating a Hulk. Let's stop it there.
Well, somebody actually tried to say that.
Yeah, somebody said that. Also, free Wanda, because my boo got to get out. Like, I really love Wanda Maximoff, and I'm happy they didn't kill both of Magneto's kids, even though they can't call them mutants legally in the Marvel in MCU. But yeah, I've always loved Scarlet Witch, even though she she decimated 97% of the mutant population. But I love Scarlet Witch so much.
I'm reading that now.
Yeah.
Read House of M. Do yourself a favor.
Real talk, though, on that point. I kind of wish they gave her a little more clout, just because she could wash everyone.
Oh yeah,
yeah, she really could. Like the way she said it in the intro scene when they were in Lagos, she was like, "You guys know I can move shit with my mind. Like I can basically do whatever I want." Because they nerfed her powers in these movies.
Yep,
she can do way more than all of this. Like they kind of turned her into a lightweight Jean Grey.
You know what? Just because it falls on topic with what you're saying, like you were saying, like 10 out of 10. Honestly, I do stand by my 7 out of 10 because I don't blame this movie. I don't blame this movie for what I'm feeling towards it. I blame all the movies leading up to this, and I think I touched on this with you, Jump.
Yep.
The thing is, the movies that came before it had to build up this drama that all of the actions of the Avengers had consequences. It had to be built up through the collection of movies, and it wasn't done right. And that's why we had to spend the entire first hour building up this intensity that built up to nothing. It wasn't climatic, you know?
Well, not really, because these guys are at large now. So these guys are criminals. Like, they'll probably have to turn into the Secret Avengers because of this.
Yeah, I mean, but who's going to do
Because
something?
Cap dropped the shield. He's not even going to be Cap anymore. Probably the next movie, he's just going to be Steve Rogers, like they turned him into in the comic, and he's not, like, Cap with the shield. Maybe Bucky will be Cap this go around. Who knows? Like, it opens up so many different avenues for them to go now because they're not all officially together. And with Tony leading the Avengers, then maybe they do the thing where he takes control of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they can do whatever they want. Like, there's so many
Tony's leading the
avenues
Avengers. They all get sunglasses.
Everybody gets new tech.
I think real quick, Chris, but that point with Scarlet is it's kind of more for the comic reader that they know that, because like there's little signs that we know Scarlet is like powerful as shit. Like we've seen how he's trying to keep her. Yeah,
like when she puts dude from through the floor, when she puts
and they try to keep
Vision?
they try to keep her in the crib. Like out of all the Avengers, that's the one that Iron Man was keeping as close. I mean, they built it in because being that she killed those people in Africa, but any of those guys could have happened to mistakenly kill the people.
Yeah,
but
they did that because she's different. She's like the different one.
Yeah, but being that it was her, I think they still kind of that's like a under the table reference to the comic and
to mutants in general.
Yeah, that they are powerful.
They treated them differently, and yeah.
So
I think that might be my only gripe about the movie, really.
But I understand it, but it's
I didn't like the way they coddled her in that airport scene because she was helping. She was a great supporter, and meanwhile, there was a part where she was running with Hawkeye, like. When they were running towards each other, she started to like float and fly because they had two flyers on their side. So she joined Falcon in the air, and and she just like started flinging Vision around the place. But it's like, why were you grounded for half of that fight? Like, she was basically like, I guess because they had to attach her to Hawkeye because Hawkeye still feels kind of like responsible for her brother being dead because that's the only reason why he's alive. And it really should have been Hawkeye dying because his family thing came out of nowhere and nobody liked that. Just like nobody liked the romance with Black Widow and the Hulk. But
never happened.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something, right? Just kind of a weird little tangent. So when Vision shoots Falcon, anybody else bothered by the fact that Vision could technically have saved him from falling?
Oh, absolutely! Like,
that's another thing. They nerfed him too. He was floating at 1 mile per hour.
I mean, either that's a big plot hole, or they had just put that in their pocket for the next one.
Let me correct myself. He could have saved War Machine. I said Falcon. He could have saved War Machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know what you were saying. Yeah.
Put it this way: he could have stopped that entire situation in Lagos from happening had he gone with them to begin with.
Yeah.
If you want to really be real about it.
Yeah. Oh, and also, how about my man Crossbones getting all of 5 minutes?
Yeah, I didn't like that. He's very like cool in the comics and everything. Like, he's really strong and racist and crazy, and he should have gotten way more time. But yeah, Phoenix, we have to get to your 50 points before this turns into a whole new tangent with me and Jump.
First, I want to say I'm in a Facebook group. Drew, you know where I'm going with this most likely.
From 2016.
We talked about this movie. I mean, all of us. We talked about this movie for the past few days. So yeah, a couple of things you're about to say I already heard.
I'm going to post this podcast in said Facebook group, and if he's listening, madam, I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm going to go by the numbers first, and then I'm going to get into said movie. Batman featuring Superlad. Opening weekend. Okay. Opening weekend. She grossed $166 million. No, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's quite fantastical. The Deadpools, because I'm going to throw this in here, grossed $132 million. It's not bad at all for a $58 million budget. It's not bad at all. It made all of its money back, too, that weekend. Iron Man 4 Civil War debuted to an impressive $181 million. Let that sink in on your neck. So far, Batman Superman has grossed $327 million domestically. For all the girls that doesn't know what that means, over here in the States, North America. Deadpool has grossed $362. A Fox-made movie about a character beat two of the most iconic. I'll just let that sit there. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Worldwide, Batman v Superman has grossed 867 million girls.
Big money.
Okay, it's cute. It's cute. Captain America: Civil War, in just under a week, worldwide has grossed over 705 million.
A lot of girls.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of shekels.
Now I'm going to toss my fact sheets down. The world has spoken on clearly which is the superior product. We're going to talk about my focal point here, because I'm going to jump in between comparing shit to gold, okay? Civil War's villain, okay? Zemo. Just, my God, just beautifully done. And let me go into meaning why. He's completely different, okay? You didn't even know this guy's name. Excuse me. Even if you didn't know the man's name by the end of the movie, I mean, who would blame you, right? Because he's clearly not the same Zemo from the comic. He's essentially a nobody. He's a Sokovian spy. His family was killed in the aftermath of Avengers fighting Ultron. Plain and put, the man wants revenge, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Zemo ends up being one of the best and most effective villains I've ever seen in a superhero movie. Now, before we say, hey, it's Loki and this, Zemo's plan to split the Avengers through almost impossible situations was a simple yet stroke of genius. Let's go down this road. He frames Bucky for the UN explosion, ignites tension that's already set by the Sokovian Accords by that, just the whole situation that had happened. Okay. He reactivates Bucky, sneaks in, which, I mean, there's a little bit of a plot hole there too. It's how would you specifically do that if it's a, high secured facility? But we're not going to go there for just logical reasons. Okay. Reinforcing the split, leading to an all-out brawl between both sides. And then just the final paint stroke across this canvas that's known as greatness. Just when you think at the end of the movie he's about to activate all these Winter Soldiers and just have an all-out crazy fest and they're all going to get the team back and the Avengers are going to be just kicking ass. Nope, he kills them. And basically he's like, hey sis, I know what happened to your parents, girl, and thing over here with the adamantium arm, yeah, she did it. Which, me and Paris called this literally a year ago, but the fact that it clicked, and now since Tony came as a friend, not as an enemy initially, he came as a friend to say, I'm going to help this guy. He's going to need help. He's going to go as a friend. And then only to find out that you bucktooth bitch with this shield, you lied. You knew the whole time that Sweetness over here with this arm killed my parents. So he bitch slaps him to infinity and beyond. And then these two girls have a fight fest. That only wedged that knife in there, but so much more that we will never see this team fully unified, obviously, until the big purple guy from space comes down. It's
Grimace?
Yeah, well, yeah, her. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was effective. Now, when you go to Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor is one of the biggest problems of that movie. Nothing he did in that movie made sense. The questions that I even came up with: why does he hate Superman? We never got a reason for that other than vague speeches about gods and powers. Why does Lex want Superman to murder Batman, someone else he doesn't know at all? Why does Lex build Doomsday? Why does Lex more or less even want to murder and destroy everything? None of it was made clear. None of it made sense. Lex Luthor in the comics is one of DC's smartest, richest versions of the Joker that there is. That is essentially the smart man's billionaire version of the Joker. And all I got was fucking, what is that movie called he was in?
Yo, you are bitter as fuck, bro.
Let me,
this shit went from Civil War to why fucking Batman versus Superman is shit.
You know, I am bitter as fuck. I am bitter, and we're gonna continue down this road.
Oh, hold up. I will make one note though. It's his son. It's not Lex Luthor. It's Lex Luthor's son in Batman vs Superman.
Yes.
Even worse.
Yes.
So, since you said I was bitter, let's go down that road still. Spider-Man has more lines in this movie than Superman had in that whole movie. Let that sink in.
Thank God, bro.
Let that sink in.
We don't want to hear that.
The movie never felt bloated. With all the characters that were on screen, Black Panther, War Machine, Vision, Scarlet Witch, the title character, Iron Man, to his sidekick, Captain America.
The title character.
Won't even title him.
I think the Russos and the writers did an amazing job with bringing a correct representation to Black Panther on the big screen.
Yes. Million times yes.
And it fucking hit me when my little cousin in the middle of the movie just looked at me and was like, and mind you, he's every bit of 8, looked up at me and just said, "Oh my God, there's finally someone that looks like me." And it kind of ripped my heart because I was like, "Oh my God,
that's awesome."
You get it,
shit, right?
When he told me that shit was real to me too.
That's what's up.
That's very real, yeah.
You know what I mean? That hit me, and I was like, "Oh my God, you get it. This is why I like you. Now shut up and watch the movie."
You little shit! Don't ruin it again.
I think you definitely said that too.
Well, if you think I have a smart mouth, Jesus, that boy is worse than me. Okay, just put that out there. But no, that really hit me. And it's a kudos to the writers, a kudos to the directors, and a major kudos to Chadwick Boseman because he brought a correct representation of the Black Panther to the big screen. And it wasn't, again, the loudmouth black guy that you see in damn near everything that's on TV. He wasn't the stereotype. He was the guy that was like, no, I don't give a fuck what's going on. I have my own agenda. If it aligns with me, I'll go with it. If it doesn't, then I'm going to go against it. And the fact that he didn't rely on either Iron Man or Captain America was even so much better for me.
Can I interject for a second?
Go for it.
So to add on, I absolutely, like I said, I'm Team Black Panther. It was absolutely amazing. 2 things. One, I also like the fact that the country he's from, I'm terrible with names.
Wakanda.
Thank you. Was portrayed as just when you saw when they panned out and you saw how just amazing it looked. It made me very happy to see that. But the more important point being, I think he actually may have had the most complete story arc in the entire movie. And
very few things needed to be said.
Very straightforward. It was very straightforward. It made perfect sense. You got a guy who's essentially at this summit to support his father, necessarily doesn't agree with it, watches him die in his arms, is just looking for just bloodlust, just wants to just kill Bucky, and then comes full circle at the end, realizes that he was wrong, and essentially doesn't forgive him, but essentially takes that anger and manifests it into something positive. And coming out with probably one of the greatest lines that I've seen in the MCU. Was it the living aren't done with you yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you said that to Zemo. Yeah. When you had him in a naked choke.
Yeah. And I was like, that line was to me was like, you are such a fucking badass.
And you know what? It's a very fine line to walk when you're creating a superhero in the movie, introducing them and putting them in the action, because you go from creating a superhero to having just another guy who put on a suit and all of a sudden he's a hero. You know what I mean? There's a fine line to walk, and there are choices that need to be made to make him viable, and everything was done right with that guy.
But here's the thing that I give the writers and the Russos, and maybe even Chadwick Boseman, credit for. The line that he had said in the movie when his dad had died, and Black Widow was talking to him, when he said, in his culture, death isn't the end, like basically saying that there's a place where you go when you die where you can run and be free and run forever. That is actually from African culture. There is a goddess, I believe, a friend of mine who studies African culture and is in, like, I guess just caught up in the ancestry of it, had hit me up when he saw it and was like, that's an actual real thing. He's like, I'm studying her right now. And that took some deep search knowledge, or, you know, just a huge amount of research to find that out and then put that line in the movie. And obviously it's intentional because it will definitely show up again in the Black Panther movie. But, you know, going even to the introduction of Spider-Man, what I love what they did with him in Black Panther was, and I know that Kevin Feige said that they'll do this in Spider-Man Homecoming, is they're not going to waste time on an origin story on any movie. They're going to hit the ground running.
Oh, thank God.
It's Black Panther is Black Panther. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. And that's essentially what I wanted to see. We didn't need to waste time. Well, granted, you know, I don't want to say it was an origin story for Black Panther because the mantle's passed down from king to king. Either way, Spider-Man that was portrayed in this movie by Tom Holland, the scenes between him, Aunt May, and Robert Downey Jr. was quite hysterical throughout the entire time.
Very.
The airport scene, I'll even take you to that, where all of us had touched on. There were so many sequences in that entire set piece where it could have easily focused on just Iron Man and Cap, but it focused on every single person there. And I know the writer said that was just a test run for what we're going to see in Infinity War. And my God, if that was a test run, I'm scared to see what the full thing is going to be.
I'm ready for the SATs. Let's go.
Because you know it's all hands on deck when Thanos shows up.
Yeah, people in space, Guardians, Adam Warlock. Oh God.
A fun little glove. A fun little glove.
That'd be amazing.
God.
You know, in
no, because Adam Warlock's already slated to be in Guardians, I believe. So it's got to happen.
Oh yeah, his pops, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like I said, again, the movie didn't feel bloated. And the thing with my theater, and I don't know if you guys had this with your theater, when he kept saying, like, when he was running on that gurney, he's like, yeah, you know, I got this thing, and I normally, you know, pass out after I do it, but it's a big distraction. All the comic book heads knew what was about to happen.
I went nuts.
And
I was elbowing my boy like, I can't believe he's going to do it.
Right, and when he turned to Giant Man, the theater went nuts, like, oh, shit. And then literally a second later, Parker goes, holy shit.
Yeah.
And Parker literally was the voice of the audience, if you really sit there and think about it.
He totally was.
You have a metal arm?
He brought a different energy.
Awesome.
He brought a different energy to the film. Like,
yeah, an actual teenage Spider-Man.
Yeah, but see, that's what it was in the comics. He always talked throughout his fights, and Falcon even made the comment. He was like, yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in a fight before, but there's not really a lot of talking.
Yeah,
and they showcase
Spider-Man
his
fights.
powers by having him like catch an iron fist coming at him and shit like that. You know? So,
and he caught the what do you call that bit? The terminal thing or whatever when it fell when he fought Cap. When Cap hit it. And he basically
it landed on him. He's just holding it.
Okay, so here's a question. Here's a question for you two New Yorkers, because the second I saw this line, I instantly thought of you two. So when he said, "Where are you from?" He said Queens, and he looked
Queens.
Yeah.
That was a big moment in our theater.
That was a big line right there. That was that was a key line because, I mean, that's just something that's New York, where especially for Brooklyn. Like, I mean, you're not going to get it from Chris, but if we was ever on the show to be like, shout out where you're from, and then you said Brooklyn, it would sound like there's 10 Chris's there. No, 100. because that Brooklyn has its own stigma to it, or its own swagger that you carry from Brooklyn. So
it's so crazy too, because I think somebody tweeted that when Cap and Spider-Man had that conversation, and then Cap said he's from Brooklyn, he said, I could have sworn that I heard air horns in the theater.
yeah,
that's how real it was for everybody when that happened, because it's just like that. That's definitely a typical New York thing that happened in the movie, and I love it.
Real quick, Chris, Phoenix, before you go back, what you were saying in regards to Panther and what they did with the character too is that it was authentic. That's how I feel as a black man too, where it wasn't something like Hillary trying to dab. Like they didn't try to put Black Panther out there and be like, yeah, well, let's get these black dollars, these black Marvel dollars, and like just do shit that we know black people.
Yeah,
would
they
like.
didn't.
He doesn't walk around
him
with utility belt full of hot sauce, right?
Yeah. Basically that they portrayed Panther as what he was in the comics. Like this guy is a king.
Badass.
He carries himself, but when he got to handle his, he handles his. And just the whole portrayal of Black Panther, I think, was just very authentic. That's one of the things to the comic that they kept to a T.
Well, that's what like Phoenix's point, right? The fact that you see some of that research, and the essentially the point from African culture, right? Those are the type of things that make you see their intent, right? If they're just trying to get like you said, just trying to get some easy bucks from the black community, they wouldn't have gone that far, right? They wouldn't have try and manifest that into that particular character.
Well, to that point, that the thing about what's going on in his culture and how that works, they've done that in the comic a few times with how when you die and you pass on to this other world and you're just like running free, and they've showed previous people who've had the mantle as Black Panther. They've done it I'm not saying that they didn't do the research for the movie, but I think that's just another one of those things that was ripped out of the comic for the flick. But I think it's great. Also, like his bodyguards, the one woman who was fine as hell, who was about to basically kick Natasha's head off when she was standing in front of his car.
Strong.
And she was like, "Move!"
Right, that was awesome.
She was like, "Move, or you will be moved." That's one of those Dora Milajes. They are his personal bodyguards. There's usually two of them, but it was just one there. And I thought there would be two of them, and I just saw the movie for a third time yesterday and realized no, it was only one there. I incorrectly told Drew that it was Shuri, his sister, who is also
that's why I
ends up being a Black Panther.
Yeah,
it's actually not his sister. It was one of his bodyguards, and there's usually two. And that woman who played one of the man, she's so fun. Anyway, go back.
I was going to say, so really, that's back in.
She needed a moment. She definitely did.
She definitely needed a moment. Just shout out to her in case nobody picked up on that. I know
I
peeped it. Yeah. Lord have mercy.
With that being said, thanks. As a whole, I think this did extremely well setting up the MCU for Phase 3. I mean, we've got Civil War, which is out in theaters right now, Doctor Strange, which is in November.
Excited
we've got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 next May. July is Spider-Man, which has Robert Downey Jr. in it. We've got Thor Ragnarok. That's right.
Thank you for telling us that.
That's right. You're more than
Thor Ragnarok has
Ragnarok
in it.
Has some green guy on steroids with breathtaking anger management issues in November of next year.
Will he be red though? Will he be red?
Here's another quick tidbit. So Thor Ragnarok, which arguably has one of the most excitable characters in the MCU in it prior to this film here, comes out a week before the Justice League movie.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that
funny how that
change.
Works.
That date is going to change.
For Warner Brothers,
Batman versus
most
Superman
likely.
for Civil War, so they probably will.
That's trolling at its finest, right?
No,
there.
Warner Brothers put that date out there. Marvel had already stamped their dates out. So,
oh no shit.
No,
where?
yeah, that's what I mean. Like Marvel had their date, and Warner Brothers they always do that, and then they change it. They always do
I'm not
that.
even like it's just. and it's not that I'm anti DC, but it's just that the way they handle their movies is just like such bad, like poor representation.
They're like the
to
little
the culture.
brother, man.
But let this marinate.
They're such a little. They're like the little brother.
Let
they
this
always
They're like Iron Man to Cap. Got it.
So next November is Thor Ragnarok, right?
I heard that shot.
That's cool. I mean, I've
bang.
never heard of Captain Puerto Rico, whatever his name is.
Wow.
So Thor Ragnarok next November. You've got December, January. 3 months later, there's a Black Panther movie that hits theater. And then
Isn't it
not even that.
Black History Month, right? Black
Yeah,
History Month.
so not even 3 months after that. Oh my God, we've got Avengers Infinity War Part 1.
Yeah, I'm going in cross colors to that Black Panther movie.
So
You're going by yourself.
I think the thing here that I get a lot with a bunch of DC fangirls, because I call them all fangirls, is
Yeah, we know.
yeah, I know, it's just I don't respect any of them really. Is basically we've had 8 years and 13 movies collectively to care about Iron Man, Thor, this person, that person, Captain Bucky, and shots fired.
bang.
You know, or Captain Civil Rights Movement, whatever his name was back in those
Captain
days.
Civil Rights Movement.
We're going to get an email about that comment.
I know, right?
Probably.
You can email us at 911@emergency.gov. Please don't email that. I don't know if that's a real email, but don't do that.
Don't worry. We'll put you on hold. We'd love to watch the live flash.
But my thing is, you know, we're invested with these characters for 8 years. So I really, truly gave a damn about how this movie worked and how they intertwined. And if you really want to get down to it, neither Cap nor Tony won the quote-unquote Civil War. Zemo won because effectively his plan was to split the team and kill the team. And that's exactly what he did. And Martin Freeman's character,
great success.
Oh yeah, there were no victors. I mean, he still lost his family. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, there were no victors. It was a sad movie.
But
then
to the point,
no good bromances.
Right. And then last note, and then I guess we can reel it on home, is Martin Freeman's character, in my personal opinion, you don't bring on a huge actor like him and the guy who played Zemo just for a one-off shot. His character, not Zemo, but Martin Freeman, I can't remember what his character's name was, but his character...
Something Ross also.
Yeah, it was something Ross. His character does have ties to the Black Panther comic book.
Yep.
However, I do believe he is some form of a remnant of Hydra. And let me explain why. Because remember, what was Red Skull's little thing? You chop off one head, 2 more grow in its place.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Hydra motto.
Never kill Hydra, yeah.
Cut one head off, 2 more take its place.
And if you
Hydra.
watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they quote-unquote bombed and killed all of the Hydra locations. I'm sorry. Red Skull did not die. He's still out there somewhere. Now,
Red Skull never does.
Either that's Red Skull, Martin Freeman's character, or he is someone that is well underneath the radar that's working to redo Hydra and make it bigger, and then they'll reintroduce Red Skull.
Yep.
Just my personal thoughts.
Ready for that. Love Red Skull. Let's get more of that.
I was holding on to this from before, too, when you were saying about the intro, the movies and characters being intro. Going to the comic shop today, picking up that Black Panther, another plug, pick that up, support that comic. In the front, it wasn't all the new comics. In the front was the Civil War arcs, the books or whatever.
The old ones or the new one?
What you said?
The old ones or the new one?
The old ones. The
Wow.
originals. So that's the thing with the point you said earlier, Phoenix, about them not really doing origins. Well, he can't even do an origin on Spider. I mean, most people know his origin, but and also he has so many different story arcs. But then also with Black Panther is that this builds new geeks where people are now going to want to know these backstories. It's just like when you go to see a movie about a book and then you might go read the book after. But this is building the culture even more where people are going to dig deeper into these movies. Like if they just start off with the movies, where they're going to want to read the comics. And I mean, regardless, if you read it first or read it after, that's just going to give you so much more feeling because the comics has so much more as is compared to the
wiki
movies.
that shit.
What
Yeah,
was that?
we don't. You just wiki it because we don't need more origins. That's another shot
No,
at
you
the
don't.
DC franchise because I've seen Batman's parents
Oh
die
my God, no
more
shit.
than I've
We've
seen my
seen it on the
own
show
reflection.
Gotham.
I'm tired of it. I'm
Yep.
tired, and they always change where they walk out of the movie theater, the opera,
The
a
orchestra.
The
play.
alley, the fucking train,
it's
like
enough already.
And the
Enough
shit makes no
already.
sense.
We
'cause
know
what the
his
fuck would
parents
a
are
rich
dead.
Family, why would a rich family be walking down a fucking dark alley? Why?
And you say I'm bitter.
I'm not
No,
even
it's because
bitter.
it's just
fucking
it's just
common
one of those
sense.
things, and it's just
It's
like
just
we
dumb
don't
as
need
fuck,
to.
bro.
And I hope and I mean, please, Ben Affleck, you were like one of the only decent bits of that movie being Bruce Wayne and Batman. Could you just not put the origin in if you're going to direct the next movie? Just there's
change
no
the
reason
voice.
for that.
But
Change
how
the
you gonna
voice.
build sympathy, man? How you gonna build sympathy?
Oh my
how
God.
You don't need- you know Batman's
how you gonna build
story.
sympathy though, man? I want to connect with the characters.
But basically, it wasn't to say that they need to put the origins in the movie, but I like what it's doing for the culture, where it's going to build that interest, and people are going to research these characters. Like, we're going to see some young kids talking about Black Panther or some shit. Like, there's so much more. Because the thing is that, like, just being as a black geek, that we're different in a way where our circles are very much smaller.
They're growing.
Yeah, but they are growing. So that's like I could walk up to 10 random black motherfuckers on the street right now, and all of them, 7 of them will probably know about or be into Jordans. I can't walk up to 10 random people and talk to them about 10 black people and talk to them about comics, but that is changing. And that's one thing I do appreciate, especially with this
things
film,
like
what it's
Black
going to do.
Panther, that's helping that along.
Yeah,
like
and it's just for the culture.
A lot of, and it might not even like a lot of it has to do with representation, but a good chunk of it also is just the route that a lot of these things are taken. They're being very well put together. Like the MCU is in a really, really good spot right now. I mean, not so much with the X-Men and Fox and stuff like that, but you know, with they got joint custody of Spider-Man. It's like the mom and the dad. Like one person does all the work and the other one just has, you know, the name on the kid.
You know what else has a joint custody? You know what else has joint custody? The ending of this show.
Okay.
Hold on. Before we get there, can I make one last point though?
Go ahead.
And it ties to what Drew was saying. And I want to take your point, kind of broaden it a bit more just from a societal standpoint. Growing up, we had these characters, whether they're in comics, animated series, they helped kind of mold a concept of morality to some extent. And I feel as we got older, obviously we kept it, and the younger generations never really had an equivalent, right? I don't think younger kids ever had a superhero as a role model like we did. And I think looking at Black Panther and kind of hearing what, you know, Phoenix, what you said about your little cuz, stuff like that is really awesome to see, just from the viewpoint of building good role models, whether they're fictional or real. Just the way people are portrayed, the way they they resolve conflicts, the way they can internalize and kind of, you know, take rage and pain and make it to something more positive and progressive. I think it speaks to, and I think I might be getting a little preachy with this, but I think there is a value that I think most people just don't consider and understand, just because we take it for granted because we grew up with it. And I kind of leave it at that.
I totally feel you on it.
Touche. Well,
100.
that was a fantastic.
I have so much more I want to talk about too, man. Damn.
Part 2.
Yeah, we all do.
Part 2.
It's I think we might have to do an all Civil War cast.
But I always want to talk about Panther so much more too, man. Like it's just
me too.
Panther cast. Let's go.
Panther cast.
Well, I mean, we could do that, but not on this. No, I'm joking.
If the listeners, if you guys want it, please email us, tweet us, let us know.
Do you know what the email
your
is?
thoughts?
Yeah.
'Cause like you said, we're down for it. I don't know if y'all want to hear us talk about Black Panther for like an hour or some shit, but
Or if you just want to hit me up or something, I'll talk about Wanda more if you want. I have no problem doing that.
Or let's roll into the shout outs, because I have an announcement during the shout out that I want to make. So Jay, we're kicking with you.
Actually, yeah, let's start off with Jump. Jump usually does this, and I just follow suit, man.
Passing the buck.
All right, so Jay and myself, we do the Player vs. Everything podcast. Check us out on our website, playerversuseverything.net. You got RSS links, iTunes, Overcast, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play. Hit us up on Twitter at PvE Podcast. I have a personal Twitter at They Call Me Jumpman. Jay really doesn't really do anything social media wise, so no, he really doesn't. So if you want to reach out to Jay, if you want to yell at him through me or through the show.
Wait, tell him about our Insta. Tell him about our Insta.
We have an Instagram, but we don't really ever use it.
Tell him they can slide in the DMs though.
Uno's over, bro. Those days are over.
Yeah. Check us out. Playerversuseverything.net has links to everything I mentioned. Shout out real quick to Greedy, Kurt, let's see, Beats, Elio, everyone else who I forgot to mention just because I'm running out of time. Love you guys.
Oh, it seemed like it was an Oscar speech.
Shout out to my moms. Looking out.
First of all, I'd like to thank God.
The Lord upstairs for making this all passable.
Well, Chris, since you're flapping your gums, go for it.
Oh, I'd like to thank my gums for continuing to flap because I like to do that. I would like to send a shout out to the Russo brothers for making that happen for me because like I said, I've seen it 3 times in a 5-day span, and it gets better every time I see it. I don't see anything new. Like, there's nothing that I didn't catch the first time I saw it, but it doesn't matter because I just really, really enjoy watching that movie. It's so very well done, and as I guess shameless plugs go, Random Gaming Bros on Twitter and YouTube. And
Uncharted videos on the way. Yeah, I'm gonna start
Uncharted videos on the way. The very bad Overwatch beta we played.
Oh my god, we're mostly complaining during it.
Yeah, it's funny though because it's a very key moment where a very key person gets key yanked out of a door. Opening door on a specific map. So yeah,
you guys are gonna get some serious hate mail for those Overwatch comments. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, because all the weebs love Overwatch.
Right, you know what? Come at bro. Come at right here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jumpman for being my soldier bro during the Overwatch.
Soldier bro, man, let's go.
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun, just both running soldier at the same time and having each other's back. But
hell yeah,
that's it for my shout outs.
All right, Flatbush.
Friends.
Yeah, shout out to the listeners as always. Shout out to
I guess.
Yeah, always. I would have faced. Shout out, especially everyone that's been asking about this show. A lot of people did want to hear. We've been raving about it on Twitter, on Facebook about the movie. Everyone's been interested.
Yeah, people really kept asking us, when are we going to do this? When are we going to talk about the movie?
Really? People have asked you?
Yeah.
Oh, shut your mouth.
People asked us at the movie theater.
No, he knows. They asked both of us together. He's just talking foolishness.
Wait a minute, your friends at the movie theater were asking y'all about what? Shut your mouth. Okay, go.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to this month of gaming. Whether I like it or not, there's a lot of new stuff coming out. So we didn't even talk about it this show, but at times it's kind of feel like Phoenix has mentioned before, where he's like, I don't even know if I see myself gaming that much anymore. Like it's dying out because of the quality of the games, but there's something interesting stuff coming out. I'm going to be starting Uncharted 4 soon. I've been hearing great things about it. Shout out to Tracy, my lady. I mention her from time to time.
He doesn't want to sleep on the couch tonight.
Oh, that's so gross. Pandering to your girlfriend.
No, but I just had a milestone.
I'm joking.
I know. But yeah, we just
continue with the
She's right behind him, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, she
Give me
was
my
home.
fucking shout out. Give me my fucking shout out.
No, she did walk in during the middle of the show. Even her letting me sit here and talk. She's watching the game here silently. But we hit like 6 years, man. So, like, it's
congratulations!
Congrats on that.
Yeah, you have to give her
congratulations, Tracy. Wow.
I
was thinking about Gwen Stacy. I'm so sorry.
What?
What?
She's dead.
That's why I was thinking about Gwen Stacy, because I just got a text
Spoiler
from Peter.
alert, in case you don't know. Well, I mean, she's not dead because those movies didn't happen anyway. Continue.
Yeah, but shout out to her though for just dealing with me for all this time. I know some of the listeners feel for me for dealing with Phoenix and the way, but yeah, I'm
What you talking about?
I don't understand that. What do you mean you have to deal with me, motherfucker? Like what? I have to deal with your fat on this mic every week we record. I don't understand.
Oh my god, yo, I'm surprised. I'm surprised no one that's a more heavy set has emailed to freaking curse you out about that.
People for fat shaming.
I've gotten emails for jokes, and you make these comments about me.
Listen.
Anyway,
you should check our new app out, fatchecks.com. Oh yeah, and also to the music industry right now, a lot of new music came out. Beyonce.
I mean, other than the Drake album, I don't know, it's questionable.
Yeah.
This dude, I checked out James Blake new album. That's been pretty interesting.
How is she?
It's I like it. It's because the sounds of it, but his voice and then the sounds. Like we can save this because we didn't even talk about.
Bet you
Prince.
do like his voice, don't you?
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, and Jasmine I hope I'm saying his name right, but I've been listening to this dude for a minute, JMSN, but it's a white dude, and it's rare you're gonna hear white, like he has soul. Like this is a white dude, he can sing his ass off his songs.
What are you talking about? We had Rick Astley for years.
I mean, I guess.
Okay, you're pandering.
But yeah, shout out to the games, MCU, the listeners, and the music. It's been a good month. I did catch a flat today from leaving the comic shop on my bike though, which sucked. I almost was late to the show, but I made it.
Shout out to the flat tires.
Yeah, shout out to the bike.
With his training wheels.
Asshole. Look at this. Someone email him about that. Talking about my bike now.
Okay.
I'm New York. I'm a hipster. I gotta
no bike shaming.
Yeah, no bike shaming. Of all things I shame on this podcast, no bike shaming.
How dare you talk about that bike? We heard what you said.
Yeah, I know. So check us out, wickedradionetwork.com. We are part of the Wicked Radio family. You should also check out marvel.com to catch up on everything with the latest happenings with the Black Panther and Sir Robert. Shout outs to Sir Robert, of course, for starring in Iron Man 4 Civil War.
Scrub man.
Oh God, you. So there's a new love of my life, Chadwick Boseman. You're right there with Sir Robert now. Thank you. Shout outs to Beyonce.
Say Jay, fuck man.
Jay thought he was gonna get some love.
Man,
I love you, Jay. Don't you worry.
Shout out to Jay.
All that matters.
Crickets.
Shout outs to Beyonce for dropping Lemonade next month. I get to see her front row seats. I'm so excited.
Wait, she's got a lemonade stand too?
I'm gonna slap you across your entire front set of teeth.
Lemonade.
Okay. That's what we're gonna
Or
do.
regular.
Oh man!
Shout out to the
You know how much
listeners
that
of the
lemonade
show.
would fucking cost?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Shout out to the listeners of the show. We are doing another meetup in New York City, July 4th weekend. If the alls can be there, Chris, I don't know if you have something that might randomly pop up again like Drew does. Drew might actually be going to a Backstreet Boy concert or an NSYNC concert. I don't know. He's always going to a concert. We're supposed to be doing something. I don't understand.
He likes his live music.
And I was gonna make a joke there, but
Oh no! By all means, if you're feeling froggy, baldness, leap.
it's
No,
not,
he doesn't
it's
want
not-
emails.
Yeah, I don't need any more emails about my
He
comments.
doesn't want emails.
With that being said, last shout out, to the listeners, of course. Thank you guys so much for listening to both of our shows. I don't know if your listeners will ever listen to us on our show because we are a complete set of assholes. And it's all Drew's fault, clearly.
Honestly, I just think there'd be too much asshole going around. I don't know.
As a
sir,
booty man myself.
Too
I'm
much
not very
asshole
bothered by
going on.
sir, your thought process is just gold star. Another achievement unlocked for you. Okay,
Lord
this
have
is
mercy.
50 points for you. 50 points. You've
Good
gone
There's
up.
too much asshole going around.
And I forgot what the last shout out was. Thanks. So, no, I'm so sorry. to my friends over at Naughty Dog. Thank you guys so much for the launch of Uncharted, the best video game so far this console generation, hands down. Like Jay said, it's a great piece of art. It is scrumptious like a peach cobbler on a Sunday afternoon after church. And with that being said,
that's intense for a video game.
Yeah,
that description.
I thought the food would have got you talking. I don't know.
Yeah, so I was just gonna compliment you, being that you built my interest even more, because I didn't even buy the game on launch. But from you playing it and talking to me about it, I'm like, nah, I have to. The only reason I have it is because I want to finish 3. And
I'm
like,
it comes
halfway
with a complimentary chocolate, so I think you should get it.
Finish your shout out.
I just keep thinking about that Simpsons episode. Just stop. He's already dead.
This is a daily basis almost at this point. I'm surprised I don't even get a morning text with some kind of fat joke.
Well, now that you played that in my head.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna block him. Anyway,
that is so rude. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Mashup episode. Check us out on our various websites, our Twitter feeds, our PlayStation networks, our Nintendo social security codes, and we are out.
Peace.